Okay, so besides softball and band for extra outside of school activities, I think I was still in Girl Scouts at the time, so I did a bunch of volunteering stuff outside of school, like with Salvation Army, and then I know, not that year, but like we would make blankets and stuff for like the Linus Project, which is for like kids with cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and then so just a bunch of other little volunteering things, but nothing too serious yet for like NHS.
Mm-hmm.
And then friends.
You would hang out with
Yeah.
friends. What kind of things would you do with your friends? Like, well, I guess I'll rephrase that. Was there?
Well, I know what you mean.
Is there a time when you guys were hanging out and when so I'll ask first, when you guys were hanging out and that story is brought up over and over and over again, and or a time when you were in the moment, like you were kind of like, I can't believe this is happening, there's no way we're gonna get out of this, kind of thing that happened to you while you guys were hanging out, or something that happened like that after school.
School freshman year, or just
At any
time?
point. At any point.
So there was one time, I think, where we can't get out of it. So, trying to think. I guess, what was the first one again? Just
so something that that happened that you and your friends talk about all the time, or gets brought up again, or you guys will remember for a really long time.
So this one time I was staying at my friend's house, and we were up watching movies and eating popcorn and cookies and stuff. And so this was probably around 1:00 in the morning, and we look outside and like she had a bunch of older high schoolers like who were living across the street from her, and you could definitely tell they were having a party because like all the lights were on, there was a bunch of cars parked outside, and we're all like, "Ooh, that was really interesting." So we just kept looking out the window, and then all of a sudden we see cops start pulling up and kids running all over the place, and the cops go inside, and then like we're like, "Whoa!"
You saw the party get broken up.
Yeah, we saw the party get broken up.
Like you saw the process of it.
We saw the process, getting kids pulled out of the house and then just like running down the street trying to avoid the cops. They're hopping fences over like their front fence from the backyard. And so then we're like, "Oh, dang." There were a couple, not too many got arrested, but I would say about,
you saw people get arrested?
Yeah, there was at least 3. So I think one of them was the person who owned the house. Or who not owned the house, but lived in the house, the teenager himself. And then, like, we later learned,
the kid who lived there got arrested.
Yeah. So, we learned later, like, my friend talked to her neighbors, and we later found out, like, there was alcohol, and, like, they were smoking pot and stuff. But, somebody, I think a couple houses down, had called the cops, so that's why the party was broken up.
But not you guys.
No, not us. So...
I mean, when you were watching it, you guys, I'm guessing, were watching it. You guys didn't start when it was getting broken up. You kind of saw beforehand.
We watched for a while. We could see people in the front window moving around and laughing, and like people walking in and out to their cars or just chilling in the front lawn.
Did you see like? I mean, were the cops like were they? I mean, stealthy at all, or were they very blunt and just went in and just took down the party?
I mean, they weren't didn't have their guns drawn or anything. Weren't like guns ablazing, but they definitely the kids in the front of the house. A couple of them noticed the cops coming down the street, so they were able to go in and start telling people that cops are coming, but they weren't really stealthy about it. They did use some force to go in and be like, "No, you're doing bad things. Please stop."
That's hilarious. Do you have a time when you were in the moment, kind of like, "I can't believe this is happening. This is awful," and then kind of, but now looking back, you're still kind of like, "That was awful. I can't believe I had to go through that," and still kind of amazed that you were able to get through it.
So, I don't remember what movie this. We were at the movie theaters, the old Longmont ones. When it
Oh,
was,
really?
It was still there. We were seeing a movie. And so the movie was done, but our rides weren't there yet. So it was me and a bunch of my friends. We were just walking around, and like they used to have those little coin machines where you could get toys or gum and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And one of the lids were broken off, so you could reach in and get it. But like we were like good people, so we were trying to fix it. And then this really big security guard comes up, and he's like, "What are you doing? You're vandalizing that!" And he was threatening to like take us to his office and call our parents. And we're like, "Please don't!" And then some lady comes up. She's like, "No, these girls didn't do that. I saw these boys try to break in and started taking stuff out of it. So it wasn't these girls. They were trying to fix it." And so literally some random lady saved us from getting our parents called and everything.
How old were you when this happened?
Well, 15?
You were 15. So this is like, the movie theater is like dying.
The
like,
dying, yeah. That's the only thing left there.
And so, and the security is that harsh about that movie.
It wasn't even like a thin security guard. It was this really fat dude. He's like, "What are you doing?"
You were trying to fix the machine?
Like, the lid was off, but it was on the side, so we thought we could just screw it back on. And so we were trying to attach it, and then he comes up and starts yelling at us. And then, like, I remember because Sage Madden with us and stuff, and, like, she almost started crying. I was, like, freaking out. My friend ran away, like, in the opposite direction.
She ran from the security guard?
So...
Do you do you have a time here at Silver Creek that you? I mean, a lot of this is just ways to get you to tell stories, and you seem to have a lot of them. So don't feel restrained by my questions at all. Do you have? I mean, what other stories? I guess do you have? I mean, do you have a lot of stuff like this, or is this kind of like just those two? And
a lot of them are just in the moment, but I mean, there are fun ones here at Silver Creek where, like, in band and stuff, we would have sectionals after school, but we'd end up just be like hanging out time. And we were in the choir room once playing around with a tennis ball, and then like it started hitting stuff, and we were afraid it was gonna break. And then we went into the auditorium up on stage and started, some of them, not me, but the guys were climbing up onto the catwalks and were throwing the tennis balls down to each other, and one almost slipped and fell. So that's, yeah.
Do you remember?
Sorry.
No, go ahead. If you remember something, please tell the story.
So it was freshman year, and my friends actually, some of them, they were sophomores, but he was actually dating Amanda at the time, and but he one of the guys dared the other guy to eat cat food, but like we would pay him to do it.
Wait, like dry cat food or like
wet?
Like wet fancy feast? Oh my god.
So it was the last day of school, freshman year, one of them at least, and we paid this guy $100 to eat one of the like appetizer fancy feast cat foods, and then a can of like the entree one.
Wait, so he had a meal?
He basically had a meal. And so we were sitting in the band room, and he's just eating this cat food. And then the band director, literally is like the band director's last day, he comes in and sees this guy on the podium eating cat food.
And this is during class?
This is during, well, it was after school.
Okay.
It was after school, but people were still there because we were waiting for the bus and stuff.
One of Mr. Clan's final memories is a guy eating cat food.
Yep.
Who was it?
Eric Bachman.
Oh my god.
And Coltrane, can't even say his last name, dared him to eat it.
That's hilarious. Oh my god. What else do you have? Please keep going with these.
God. I haven't thought a lot about these. I mean, just there's a lot of them. We would just do stuff after school. I can think of them, but like, let me think. I don't know, there were a lot of band ones. because that's just how all my friends are in there and stuff. So, I guess noon.
Well, do you have do you have other instances where, like when you're in the moment, you kind of can't believe it, and then now that you're out of it, you're still a little like mesmerized and still like think about how awful it was, or times that you and your friends continually talk about?
Yeah, like there's so one of my friends, he was a senior when I was a sophomore. We would just go out and do a bunch of shit. Not like, sorry. But like, we would go, all our friend groups would go. We played laser tag one time, and then like, on the way home, he was sticking out, he had this giant cardboard cutout of a Tabasco sauce bottle, and was just like waving it outside of the car window along 287.
Which, this is on the highway.
This is on a highway at like midnight. And then, I have a lot of memories with this guy, because did you take psychology at all?
Mm-mm.
So, adverse conditioning, he was like using this technique to train my friend to be afraid of the word lemon, or anything to deal with lemon. So at lunch, we would say the words like, if anybody said lemon, he would smack this kid in the shoulder, to the point he's done it so much that when you would say lemon and he wouldn't hit you, this kid would flinch. And now this kid is afraid of the word lemon, all because this guy was testing something out he learned in AP Psych.
That's horrifying. That's the behavior of a psychopath. Wow. Okay. This is insane. Okay. Okay, there was in our sort of pre-interview conversation. Oh wait, actually, hang on one sec. We're timing out. I'm gonna switch SD cards.
Okay.